everyone, welcome to day 17 of the no added salt challenge. So I got up this morning at like 4ish. I was actually up awake before that, but I got up this morning at like 4ish so that I could take medicine, so I can do medicine 3 times today because I have to take antibiotics and stuff. Anyways, so then I had a hard time falling back asleep, and then I finally fell back asleep, and when I was up at 4 because I had to take some Aleve because I'm still super puffy and swollen, I ate 2 waffles with a little teeny tiny little bit of maple syrup on them. No applesauce at 4 o'clock in the morning. And then it's now 12:50 and Anthony and I are going to sit down and eat lunch. So we decided to have something that I've made before. It's super easy and super fast and freaking super delicious. So we are having fruity pasta salad. But just come down here and look. So chopped up spinach, soy pasta, apples, and raspberries. And then on top of that, we're going to put the blueberry vinegar. So it's going to be fantastic. So I'm super excited about that. I am planning on making it's called corn pudding, which we'll see, that's interesting. And it says it goes really well with grilled food. And to me, grilled equals barbecue. And I know they're not the same thing. I mean, I totally get that they are not the same thing. But I'm kind of excited about that anyway. I'm going to try to make barbecue soy curls, which means I have to make my own barbecue sauce, and I have a recipe that looks like it might be good, and we'll see. We shall see. I did take my blood pressure after I got out of the shower, and it was 102/63, so normal-ish for what it has been, although I'm feeling very bloated. I don't know. Anyways, I think it's probably just because I'm puffy and I'm feeling it, but anywho, that's it for me for right now. I will see you guys later for a couple different recipes. We'll do 2 recipes today. We'll do the barbecue sauce and see if that turns out well, and we'll do the corn pudding and see if that turns out well. And it is sweet, but it's not necessarily a dessert. It's supposed to be served with your meal, so we'll see how that goes. So that's it for me, guys. I will see you again later. All right, guys, so lunch is over, and it was fantastic. And now I'm going to work on starting the next set of steps for making supper. The first thing I need to do is make barbecue sauce, and this actually has a huge number of ingredients in it. I forgot to get the liquid smoke out. Okay, hang on just a second. I'm gonna go do that. Okay, so now that I have liquid smoke, now we can put stuff together. So this, like I said, it has a ton of ingredients in it. It's from geniuskitchen.com. I'm not even sure if this is going to taste wonderful or not, but basically you put all the ingredients into your pot and you cook it on the stove. You bring it to a boil, reduce heat to simmer for 20 minutes, stirring occasionally. So I'm going to do that, and I want to try it. I'm doing it early enough that I can actually try it to make sure that it tastes okay, at least, to put on soy curls and to then bake in the oven to make barbecue flavored soy curls. So come on down to the counter and we will talk about all these ingredients, because there's a lot, quite a few, more than I usually have, to be honest with you. Alrighty, so now first things first, we need 1 cup of no salt ketchup. So we've got some no salt ketchup out. And again, I would definitely not choose to use this particular ketchup again in the future, simply because it has high fructose corn syrup, so I really should just make my own, but I've not found a recipe that I really liked. I don't even know if there's gonna be a cup in here. Holy cow, it's gonna come close. How much was in here? There was 14 ounces in here to begin with. All right, well, it is what it is. We're gonna use what we have. Let me go get a little spatula guy to scoop this out with. I'll be right back. All right, so let's clean this ketchup out. Apparently we need all that we can get. All right, well, that finished that ketchup. Okie dokie. And then the next thing you need is 1 cup of no salt added tomato sauce. So this is the tomato sauce that I'm going to use. It's not an organic product. I do try to buy mostly organic stuff. This one is not, but it's okay. Okay, next is 2/3 of a cup of brown sugar. We buy an organic brown sugar at just at Kroger, actually. You need 2/3 of a cup. I got out 1/3 of a cup because I figured it would be easier to stick this in the bag. It doesn't say whether it's pressed or not, so there goes the liquid smoke on the floor. but I'm not too worried about it. It does seem like an awful lot of sugar though. 2/3 of a cup of brown sugar seems like a lot, which is why the last one I did not fill all the way. I'm not too worried about it not being full all the way. Ugh, sticky. Okay, and the next is 2/3 cup of apple cider vinegar, which seems like an awful lot of apple cider vinegar to me too. I'm going to use the organic one that I've been using for having drinks, having 1 tablespoon shots of. All right, there's 1/3. Let's get this new one open because that's not going to be quite enough. Ugh. Oh man, this stuff stinks, guys. Whew. Okay, 2/3 cup of that. And then we need 1/4 cup of molasses. I bought some molasses a long time ago. I can't remember for what purpose, but it's not something that I typically use. In fact, I think I've only ever used it once, to be honest with you. I'm gonna have to clean that off before I put that away. Oh my goodness. Messy, messy, messy. Okay, good enough. All right, so next is 2 teaspoons of liquid smoke that I dumped on the floor. So just whatever flavor liquid smoke it is that you have. Oh, we don't have 2 teaspoons in here. Oh, maybe we do. Yeah, we did. Okay, as soon as I splashed some over. It's a good thing we have another container of it too. 2 teaspoons liquid smoke, and then lots of seasonings. So we're gonna do 1/4 teaspoon of garlic powder. I'm gonna do all the quarters first. All right, 1/4 teaspoon garlic powder, 1/4 teaspoon of some onion powder. Sorry if that sun is really bright, it makes it hard to see things down on my counter. And 1/4 teaspoon of chili powder. Again, we just buy ours in bulk. One-quarter teaspoon of cinnamon. And then we need 1/2 teaspoon of, I guess I didn't get the paprika out. Oh my goodness. All right, 1/2 teaspoon of black pepper. Oh geez. Okay, we'll need a little bit less than that. And let me go grab the paprika, I'll be right back. Okay, and then 1/2 teaspoon of paprika. So, that's it. You're supposed to mix all this together and you're supposed to cook it for 20 minutes on simmering it. So, I'm gonna go do that and then we will see what this tastes like when it gets done. Hopefully it tastes good, I don't know. I'm going to reserve judgment for sure until after it's done cooking for a while. So, I will see you guys in a while. All right guys, so this barbecue sauce definitely smells like barbecue sauce. It definitely looks like barbecue sauce. It tastes okay. It's interesting tasting. Okay, so there's what it looks like. It's nice and thick after cooking it for that long. So my husband tried it and he said that the first flavor that he gets out of it is the apple cider vinegar, that it's just a little bit too much vinegar. So keep that in mind if you're sensitive to vinegar. I don't get that at all. Immediately when I first try it, I get sweet. And then towards the end, I get the fact that there's like a massive amount of black pepper in there, in my opinion. 1/2 teaspoon is like a lot of black pepper for that amount of food or liquid. But it's not bad. So I'm going to go ahead and bake soy curls. Make barbecue soy curls. Yeah, that's pretty good. So what I'm gonna do is put it in the oven at 350 degrees. How long do we normally do barbecue soy curls for, Anthony?
20 minutes?
Yeah, about 20 minutes. So anyway, I'm going to do that. And then the boys are cooking, Preston and my husband are cooking supper for them. They're making unstuffed cabbage casserole. Anyways, so I am going to not make the corn pudding until closer to the time that we eat because it only takes like half an hour. Like you cook it for 10 to 15 minutes and then it sits for 10 to 15 minutes. So it's not a super long recipe. Anyways, I'm gonna go put this on here and then when it comes time closer to eat, I'm going to bake that. But I'll be back with you guys to make some corn pudding in just a little bit. Alrighty guys, so it's time to make corn pudding. I've got the soy curls with barbecue sauce in the oven, and actually I used all of the barbecue sauce that I made. I was thinking I would have extra, but no. I just put it all on the soy curls and mixed it all up and stuck it in the oven just now. So this is corn pudding. It is a recipe from Mayo Clinic again, and this says, basically at the top it says, corn pudding tastes great with just about anything grilled. This side dish also satisfies your sweet tooth, no need to make dessert. Which, I made dessert for the kids, but I'm not going to have any because it's got salt in it, but I made the brownies. Excuse me. So basically what you do is you take 3 cups of water and put it in a pan, and 3 cups of, it has skim milk, but anyway, we're going to use unsweetened soy beverage. And you bring that to a boil. Once it is boiling, you need coarse ground cornmeal. So you take 2 cups of cornmeal, and you put it in there and stir it up really well. It says to remove the lumps, okay? I don't know, I've never used cornmeal in anything that I can think of. I know I've made cornbread in the past from scratch, so I probably had some kind of ground corn something or other, but I don't remember. It's been a really long time. Anyway, you bring it back to a boil, then you turn it on low, cover, and cook it for 10 to 15 minutes. You do want to stir it occasionally. And after that, you put in your spices, and then you let it sit for 10 to 15 minutes, and then you serve. So it calls for 1/4 cup maple syrup, 1/4 teaspoon cinnamon, 1/8 a teaspoon nutmeg, 1/8 of a teaspoon clove, and 1/8 of a teaspoon ginger, which kind of all those make me think of pumpkin pie. So we'll see. And then 1/2 cup of raisins. So I am kind of excited about this because I kind of think it's going to taste wonderful, but I don't know. We'll see. I'm going to go put this together. Obviously, I'll put a link for the in the description box below so you can go and find this recipe. But we'll see what this tastes like. Hopefully it'll be good. I don't know. But yeah, I will be back with you guys in just a little bit for a taste test. Alrighty guys, so supper's actually over. This food was fantastic. So the barbecue sauce turned out really good. I think that, I mean, from my personal opinion, I think it's absolutely wonderful. I wouldn't change anything about it except maybe decrease the amount of black pepper just a little bit. Both my daughter and my husband think that it had maybe just a tiny bit too much. Like, instead of using the apple cider vinegar that had the mother with it, use just regular apple cider vinegar, because that probably would take just a tiny bit of that vinegar tang out of it, and that would be really good. So regular apple cider vinegar if you make that, but it was really good. Like, it was very good. And then the corn pudding was fantastic. Like, it was super delicious. So our supper was absolutely, like, awesome, awesome, awesome. I would leave all the same spices just the way that they are in the corn pudding, and my daughter's very sensitive to like cinnamon, and she doesn't really like that kind of stuff, and it had it in there and she thought it was fine. So anyways, yeah, supper was really good. You guys really have to try both of those things. If you want a barbecue sauce that does not have salt, that was definitely a good way to go, and baking it in the oven on the soy curls turned out really, really good. So make the corn pudding. It was yummy. It made a lot. So if it's just you or just a couple of you, maybe cut the recipe in half, because that was a lot of food. But anyways, that's it for me for the day, guys, and I will see you again tomorrow.